It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And we got the Merman. Hey there, Murray. What's going on? What's happening? What's shaking?
Not much. Just working for a living.
Working for a living. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on. Let's get right into this, because, you know, sometimes we yammer on and on and on. Oh, that's what I'm doing right now.
That's what we do.
Ready? Are we ready yet?
I was born ready.
All right.
Are we still chit-chatting?
No chit-chat. We're getting right to it.
All right. Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love or even like our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform, or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/filmrageyyc. If you cannot commit to membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible, terrible film. If it played anywhere in a cinema in the world, we'll watch it. Now, let's get to raging. What the amazing mom
Predict.
What the amazing mom
Predict.
Will he predict the rage, or will he predict the Mondo? Will he tell us all what Jim and Bryce are the movies? Better watch out, kids, 'cause here he comes. Merman is swimming to you. Swim, Murray, swim.
Yeah, I was waiting for
Swim, Murray, swim,
Not doing that
Murray,
anymore?
swim, Murray, swim.
Swim all the way to our hearts, our little hearts.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. If you're tired of it, I'm tired of it.
I'm not
We're
tired
never
of it at
tired of
all.
it.
I'm just distracted.
It's the only thing people listen to on our podcast.
Yeah,
They turn it off after
they're
this.
hitting stop right
You
now.
keep-
Nobody's listening further than this.
Yeah. Well, we had ourselves a long weekend up here in Canada.
Canada, eh?
Bryce went camping, so, you know, he shirked his
He
responsibility.
did his Canada.
I still saw both movies I was supposed to
But
see.
not with us,
That's
is what
true.
I'm saying.
That's right, Bryce.
yes.
I had to
true.
step up, so me and Jim
That's
went.
right. He took a bullet for
bullet
the
for
team
you.
that I took him out on a date.
Yeah, luckily there were only 2 movies this weekend, because it's not. It was our long weekend, not the U.S., because they always put a crap ton out.
So next weekend,
Next
it's gonna
weekend,
be
who knows?
Whopper, man.
Well, I know
Yeah.
there's one movie coming out next
I
weekend
know
that I'm
there's that-
dreading.
And I'm excited about.
Don't spoil it. That's
Okay.
coming later.
All right.
So
Everybody
first,
knows.
You know what? I'm going to make a bold prediction.
Whoa.
right.
Bold.
Bold.
I am going to say that we are going to agree on both movies.
What?
Really?
All 3 of us.
I don't know.
What?
I think.
Really? Okay.
Oh.
Unless Bryce is going to throw me a curveball, which he might.
He might. He does do
So
that.
we got Final Destination Bloodlines, which
Yes.
is the next in a long series of, well, quite frankly,
Bloodlines.
crappy movies. You know what? Considering I don't like horror movies or slasher movies, I was kind of entertaining. I thought you guys probably thought so too. So let's go double meh.
Okay.
All right.
You might have got it to Mondo, but I don't think so.
He does love his Final Destinations.
Then we have
Why, I don't know.
Hooray Up Tomorrow, or it's also known as Hurry Up Tomorrow.
That's
Whichever.
I made the same mistake when I was typing it out.
close enough.
I think it was spell check.
Spell
did that.
che- autocorrect.
Spell check auto-corrected it, yeah. With the Weeknd, Canadian
Weeknd.
pop star who thinks he can act.
He was at the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. So was Kendrick Lamar.
Yep.
Doesn't
I don't
mean
know.
anything
I don't know
anymore.
who any of these people you're talking about are.
You saw the Super Bowl that he played at the halftime show.
A few years
Who?
back.
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd.
I never watched the halftime show.
What?
Jim.
Well,
Never?
Never.
Not even with Kendrick
I
Lamar.
leave and I go make a snack, or I go
And you
pick up
come
a
back.
pizza,
Bet on more stuff.
or
Then
I
you're
do
up your
I do
betting.
anything but watch the halftime show.
Anyway, yeah.
I completely tune out
Then
at that
you're not a
point.
real American.
That's right.
I fight for the rights of every man.
I don't know, man.
I
Like
am a real
this movie, I don't know.
American.
I have a feeling. I'm hoping you guys find it to be as crappy as I did, and then make it a double rage. So
right.
we'll see. But
We'll
I
see.
think
Yep. Yeah.
We will
Quite
see.
possible.
Yeah. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. I could understand you
My
thinking
reasoning?
that, and I could understand why maybe I might think that way, but
Or you
maybe
might-
I won't.
or you
I don't
might
know.
think differently.
All right, well,
I don't know.
You know how much you love the Weeknd.
I don't know what a
he
Weeknd
doesn't
is.
know the Weeknd.
It's a weekend without an E.
I,
There you go.
like
That's how
going
he
in.
says
I
his name.
understand that this guy was a pop star,
Yeah.
and
Still is.
he's a pop star, and apparently he wants to be an actor now. And
Yes.
that's not working out
Anyway,
as far
we're
as I
starting
can
with the other
see.
one,
But
so
that's neither here nor there.
That
We'll
is-
discuss that later.
That is neither here nor
Final
there.
Destination, go.
All right, Final Destination Bloodlines. And you've all
Yes.
heard me say this many times.
Yes.
When you got the name Bloodlines in your title, you're usually straight to DVD. So, out of the gate, I need to say that this franchise, in general, is
Is
one of my
awesome.
least favorite franchises of any horror franchise that has ever been created.
I will say it's been diminishing returns since the first two.
You
Yeah.
think?
So I started yet again to watch the original prior to coming to this film.
I love the original.
Which, although the concept
Is
at
great.
the time was original enough,
Yes.
by the time I got to the end of that film, I was already tired of the whole concept. So I said, you know what? Maybe
Yeah.
I'll watch the second one.
Yes.
It'll be twice as good.
It should be twice as good because I remember
The second
that
one wasn't, though.
That the car crash scene was so good,
Uh huh.
which it was.
Yeah. You got to give Final Destination one thing. Their opening scenes
Yes,
are always
epic.
pretty
always
darn
epic.
good.
Yes.
I will say the latest one was
Yes.
epic.
Yeah. So 100%, I will 100% agree with you. They know how to open a film.
Yeah.
That is 100% correct. So I made it through halfway through the second one, and I was already tired by the time I got to the end. I was so done with this concept. So this time, I stopped at 2 and didn't subject myself to the whole rest of the fucking
Wow,
franchise.
would it
that I
taken you
did-
6 weeks to watch
that I
them all? How
did-
many are there now? It's
There's
gotta be
only
like
5, plus
There's
this one's 6.
Plus, this was 6. I don't know.
really.
I'm pretty sure.
I think there's been 6.
Well,
and
the
this is
box set
7.
I looked at because I was like, do I want to?
I remember
how do I wanna
5.
watch this?
4, yeah, maybe.
think there's
Really,
only
5 was the last.
I know
one?
it feels like there's 100 because they're all the same and they're all horrible.
Yeah.
I do know
Um,
it's been 15 years.
They're all
apparently.
horribly boring and horribly predictable. And after about 10 minutes into the film, so anyway,
Until-
fast forward to this, and I'm putting Bloodlines in heavy quotes.
Yes.
Iteration. And again, the intro on this is so good.
Oh,
As well as the deaths in the first section of this film
Yes.
are absolutely entertaining and fun, especially our annoying kid. Murray actually cheered in
I
the
did.
cinema. He's like, yes! Although at no point watching it did I think this was actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, spoiler.
I kind of did.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Because I've seen the other 5.
Yeah.
See, I saw the first one.
So I
years
was
ago.
dreading seeing any more of this, but this one actually felt different because they built a good backstory, and you actually felt for our lead in this one. Unlike the other films, which basically didn't feel like they developed any of the characters,
Killed random
and
people.
in all of the old ones, for the most part, I just wanted them all to be dead as fast as humanly possible so I could get to the end of yet another awful sequel. The kills and the gore level in this was fun and definitely made for some laughs in the cinema. Maybe I wasn't supposed to be laughing, but
No,
I
you
was
were.
laughing a lot.
Absolutely, you were.
So here is the big but. By the time we got 3/4 of the way into this, I was right back to where I was with this franchise, just wanting it all to end
Until.
until nothing. Of all
What?
of all the
You didn't like the final scene?
of all the Final Destinations I've seen, this one is by far the best one. But it has the same story idea they all do, which is boring after a while and unoriginal after a while. They are predictable. Eventually, you can't cheat death. And the
right.
trailers are usually better than most of the movies that they make for these. So, in this case, the trailer and the movie was exactly equal. They were meh.
Wow, because there's something that towards the end that it blew me away and got me emotional, and I can't believe it didn't do anything for you guys. But what is Murray?
Well,
think?
Murray, you never know. Maybe it blew Murray's emotional
guess I am.
bucket too.
I guess I'm
like
the
you
same
didn't
too,
even
yeah.
mention it, and I'm blown away.
Because 3/4 into it, I was already bored and predictable.
But there's okay, never mind. I'll talk eventually, and then I can't believe that you guys didn't feel like I did when this happened.
I
You're
don't
more
like
of
this
a
franchise.
fan of this
It has
genre.
nothing to do with this franchise.
Oh, it's just horrible.
It has nothing to do with this franchise. I don't understand. Anyways, go ahead.
Well, as you know, slasher films aren't really my thing. I saw the original Final years ago. Barely remember it.
Lucky you.
I haven't seen any of the sequels, and from what I hear, I'm not missing much.
Oh,
They're all good.
So I had zero expectations for this film.
nice.
What I got was a surprisingly entertaining film.
There you go,
Not
Bryce.
surprisingly.
It helped that I had my buddy Jim with me.
It did.
Yes.
The story was actually pretty good, but that's not what I'm going to remember about this film. It was the kills. Oh man, the kills.
Everybody's gonna remember something.
I don't know. The story
Different
was okay,
than me.
But it wasn't a question of who was going to die, but in what order
You
and
knew
what
the
kind
kills
of
were gonna be
horrific
good.
way.
Yep.
I won't give away too many details, but in the trailer, there's a sequence at a barbecue full of deadly traps that leads to a guy getting run over by his own lawnmower.
Foreshadow. It's like, well, they all can't be foreshadowed.
Yeah, this guy could die doing
But I
this,
mean,
or this guy could die
that
doing
was-
this.
The lawnmower, though,
lawnmower was
is you know what
awesome.
happens because it's
Yeah,
in the fucking
it's in the
trailer.
trailer,
Yeah.
But it was still
But
fun
there's
to watch.
there's so much in there.
I know,
It
but
was,
that's what kind of disappointed me about that scene.
you knew it was
anyway,
coming. I
There
guess.
was that scene. There was other scenes, but
Yeah.
every time their foreshadowing, I thought was hilarious because they put in like 9,000 things where it was so well
trying to
done,
think, okay,
Tattoo
which way are
parlor
they
was
going to
awesome.
die?
and they knew what they were doing. They were
No,
just, and it was
totally.
hilarious.
Totally, they hook you thinking something's going to happen, and then something doesn't.
I know. It's so
That,
good.
that was so good about
the
it. 'cause most
tattoo
slasher
parlor,
films,
the tattoo
you know,
parlor was pretty great.
was insane. Well, this was by no means a great film. It doesn't make me like horror films any better. It was good enough to be a meh. Of the two films I saw in the same day, this one was definitely the better choice. And yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
All right.
All right, let's hear your
So, yeah,
final
so
destination.
I'm just
so
blown
talk
away that-
about why you like this
There-
franchise.
Well, this franchise, it was a fresh idea originally.
At the time.
It was. I really enjoyed
So
that first
Scream.
one. I've watched it a few times since. I just like the fact that, you can't cheat death. Death's coming for you, and there ain't no getting away from it. And I just like the way that they've set up everything. I like the little, every time it's ridiculous how they die, but it's so cool because this happens and this happens, that makes this happen. And it's just like the dominoes start falling,
Yeah.
and it's entertaining for me. It just is. Every time they set up a kill, even the really bad ones that they've had in the past where it's like, come on. Still, those dominoes falling, I'm entertained by it. So it is what it is.
We all have our little crushes.
That's
so
right.
it's
At any rate, so the thing starts in 1959, and then this is just this was such a fresh take on it,
It was.
because they've never done it like this before where
Follows one
1959 happens, they show it, then they show it again
roll
like
it
they
back.
usually do. They roll it back, and she dies anyways.
Yeah.
But does she? All of a sudden, boom, her granddaughter
Yeah.
wakes up and it was a nightmare. Well, wait a second. If her granddaughter is alive, that means
She's
that
alive.
she must have lived through this.
Yeah.
And then you get the whole backstory
Yeah.
of how this happened and how they were, brought up in a certain way, trying to avoid all these atrocities. And then later you find out the only reason that this family has been safe is because the mother has decided to seclude herself,
Yeah.
and Death has an order that he has to do things
Yeah.
in. Like, everything in this was so well written and so well thought out. And as long as she's alive, everybody's safe.
everybody.
And then,
which is basically two
and then
families.
the scene where she shows her, she's like, I'm gonna show you. It's like, it's so good. Like every single thing.
It wasn't that good.
It was that good.
Again, it was predictable.
It was that good.
It was predictable.
It doesn't matter that it's predictable. It's when it's done this well, with the tongue put so firmly in cheek, with all the humor, and everything made sense.
It did.
Even the stuff originally you're like, huh? And then it all made sense in the end. And it was all so well presented. And just, you learn stuff just at the right moment. And it was very, very well done. And then finally, Tony Todd is back from the grave after dying of cancer.
Yeah.
To lay down one of his most poignant and unsettling performances. This was a fitting send-off. That voice, that presence, it's on full display one last time. It is obvious that he is staring death straight in the eyes, both in the film and in his life as he performed this scene. Yep. The actors and crew must have been in awe as Tony Todd taught them how you leave an unforgettable impression. The man will be missed, and I can only imagine that death bowed down to Mr. Todd before finally taking him away from us. So on the back of Tony Todd's impactful scene, and with the fresh take on the Final Destination concept, Bloodlines just may be the best Final Destination film of them all.
It is.
It is.
It was a tense and gory and funny Mondo. And I can't believe nobody mentioned Tony Todd. I was almost brought to tears when he walked away in that scene.
Well, you know what?
I didn't see the other one.
Yeah,
I know who he was, but I didn't.
Murray's not a horror
His
fan.
character in the last one, I get, was like.
I got such a connection to that guy. That guy has had so much. Every time that guy's on screen, it's amazing. And I am so glad that we got this was a fitting send-off for him. This character in this moment. And as I say, the guy's obviously emaciated, and he looks like he's on death's door.
Well,
he comes in and he just blows me away because he's Tony Todd, and God damn, he's awesome.
He is. You know what? I do love Tony Todd, and I had an unpacking, but now because you've already opened it, it's like how great was Tony Todd?
Yeah. Yes,
like he just was.
And when they wrote this scene for him to do, like, basically it was the end of his life, and he didn't have much left. And
I wonder when
kudos to the writers and everything, saying we got to do this.
He ad-libbed his own scene.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
They didn't write lines for him. He did it. Whatever he wanted to say.
Here's the thing about Tony Todd's character in it, because when you watch the first two,
I don't get
think
why he's in all of them.
Actually,
you
don't know. So the fact that he was part of
very
that
clever
whole
the
thing,
way they brought him back. And I'm a fan of the franchise, so I get going a little bit more than you guys do. But they did this so well, tying him back into the story, and it's just like everything they did.
Until three-quarters of the way in, and then I got bored.
It was so good. I love this movie. It was Mondo.
I got bored and unpredictable. Or it got predictable. Because it was predictable.
When I was starting to get bored, then there was another good kill, so that kept me going.
And then the ending, come on. And you know what?
It was good.
You know what the biggest
Don't spoil the ending, but the ending is...
Here's the thing, though. The biggest character in this frickin' movie was a penny. Because that penny just kept on showing up, man. And every time you saw that penny, shit was going down.
You're like,
I am just glad that our country no longer makes those.
Yeah. Well,
oh, man.
Yeah.
That penny was like deadly.
Yeah,
it's like deadly, that penny.
It's the monkey penny. I wonder if it had a monkey on
it. The freaking kid at the beginning, not like way too much. Basically, he was at the top of the Space Needle thing. He was like throwing shit down, like... 500,000 feet. I'm like,
the security guard's like, you could kill somebody.
He's like,
I want to kill somebody.
I want to kill somebody. Yeah.
This was so entertaining.
I kind of just wanted to see somebody accidentally push him off.
I was hoping, or he would like fall or something. Yeah, but he had.
But he got his comeuppance.
But then apparently he didn't, because then he rebounded.
Yeah. Well, he did because everybody got it.
Oh yeah, they didn't show what happened to him the second time, but. Thank
I
God.
tell you.
No,
That was a lot of fun.
It was
though.
all right for
It was. You know what? I enjoyed this movie better than all the other ones. I just don't like the concept.
Well.
All right.
And you're wrong.
And I'm 100% right. All right. So I have a feeling we're going to disagree on this one too.
You think so?
Yep. If you like nonstop Michael Bay spinning shots and psychotic pyromaniac stalker films and the music by The Weeknd, this film may be for you. Now,
I like
I'm not
some
sure.
of that.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if this was
know who he is.
inspired.
I don't like the cameras and
Yeah.
I don't like The Weeknd, but
Yeah, okay. So now I'm not sure if this was inspired by The Weeknd's real life, because I really know nothing about
I
him
think he produced
or
it,
his
too.
music. But there's even a shot in this that the music is, and I'm putting in heavy quotes here, The Weeknd. When Jenna is looking at her phone. So I don't know. Why don't you
No,
tell
no,
me?
no, that's her ticket, you wiener.
So, but he's
That's her
going by The
ticket to-
Weeknd in the show.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Is that? But that's not his name in
he
the
played,
film.
No, he played himself.
He played himself, but he is
But
The
he,
Weeknd.
but he also has
she went to a
but
Weeknd
he also
concert.
has a real name too. But yeah, they call him both. But yeah, his persona, the guy, he is the performer, The Weeknd. And this is
See, and that's the thing. Apparently, this is him
he-
trying to break away from his persona, The Weeknd. I
yeah,
guess
to
I don't know.
become
So is it?
able.
Well, is it him? Like,
Yes.
is this?
I don't know.
Is this really about
Is
him?
this his
this
real character or is
yeah,
it an
I don't know.
exaggeration?
I think this is like when you get a wrestling persona and you make it like yourself, but you turn it up to 11.
Exaggerate it? Yeah.
You exaggerate it. I
Probably.
think
There you
this
go.
is what's happened here.
I
I don't know though.
well,
maybe
it's a
he is
pretty good guess.
Maybe he is a total
I don't know.
sleazeball,
Never met the
freaking
guy, wouldn't know.
narcissistic piece of crap.
I wouldn't know. I don't know him.
know.
So tonally, this had some issues as it takes us on a journey of a singer, obviously The Weeknd, who's on a collision course with destruction that appears to stem from his last girlfriend, which he cannot seem to get over. It's taking over every aspect of his life, so much that he cannot perform, and it looks like he's finally hit the maximum that he can take. In steps Jenna Ortega, fresh off a pyro session in her family's homestead. We already know he is unstable, and we also pretty sure that she is also unstable. And when these things get together, that's usually a bad thing for everybody around them.
Yes.
Here's the thing. He's definitely not in the right frame of mind, but when they make eye contact at his performance, apparently he connects to her. So if he's so in love with his ex, seeing her in the crowd, I don't feel would take us to the places in
not
his
in that
character
place yet.
we have seen so far. Plus, if they are meeting and spending one night together, I don't feel also would have changed the film and his character to where it did at the times that it happens in the film. So I was kind of thrown off a little bit about his character and how they portrayed it in that sort of section. I did like the tale this was Michael Bay spinning though. The story I found interesting. Even
Michael
some
Bay.
of the well, there was a lot of spinning.
I don't think he was part of it.
There was so much spinning.
It had to be a Michael Bay film. There was so much spinning.
Well, there was so much spinning. I don't know what was happening.
Michael Bay had nothing to do with
I know
this,
Michael
Jim.
Bay had,
Maybe he was
but it was definitely
But it
Michael
was-
Bay spinning.
It was. I don't know why Trey Edward Schultz has decided that he was going to pretend to be Michael Bay for this project.
But didn't you see that?
Yes,
Like, wasn't there a lot of Michael Bay spinning?
There is a lot of
lot of
Michael Bay-esque stuff going on.
Yeah.
yes.
So anyway,
without the car chases and explosions.
exactly. So the story I found interesting. Even some of the direction style at times, but because I couldn't buy the relationship change and his character change so fast based on what we'd seen so far, I had some issues with this film. It is a very slow burn, and Ortega and Keegan were fine in their roles. And to be honest, I think The Weeknd not having any acting in his background, there were some scenes I found believable. There were some other ones that were not so strong. So,
Yeah.
like, I mean, there was definitely scenes in this I think he did a good job, but I think a lot of what we got from him is just shows he's inexperienced at acting.
Just Captain Pouty Face. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, there's a lot of actors that have a whole career on that. could probably name 10 of them. I liked the ending. I liked that we didn't fully understand her or fully him, but I didn't like the many style changes of the direction and also his character development changes. I think we really need to buy his character for this to fully be what I think he wanted from this film. I didn't hate this film. It was a meh for me, but it wasn't a high meh. It was probably a low meh because I liked the story. I really liked what they were trying to do. I could see what they should have done, and I like some of the styles of the director, but I got some unpacking. But what'd you think, Murr?
I think we saw a different movie.
All right.
What the hell was this? Like, seriously, what in the hell was this? There is only one thing I like about The Weeknd, a.k.a. Abel, what's his name? That he's Canadian. That is it. That's all I like about him.
Well, everybody else
I
likes him.
sure didn't need to listen to his music for 90 minutes.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Or see a close-up of his face as he fell apart and attempted to cry for like an hour. One of his songs has something to do with blinding lights. This movie takes that literally. There were so many flashing lights, dizzying camera moves, and freaky images. I actually had to shut my eyes for a while.
Nice.
This had little to do with me being tired from working late that night, but it was an assault on my senses. Like, it was just too much.
That's what I liked about that.
As for the story, there basically wasn't one. He plays himself on tour while he's depressed about this woman who left him because he's a dick, apparently. I obviously missed something because for most of the movie, I thought the girl that left him was Jenna Ortega.
Oh, you
They
definitely
sounded
missed
the
something.
same. And at the end, I figured out, like, oh no, it's not the same one.
Yeah, it's not.
I thought she just tracked him down or something, but I don't know.
Like you thought they went back in time?
Oh, no, I didn't. Just random
Like in
voice
Back
of
to the
this
Future?
girl.
Yeah, kind of back to the
Apparently
future.
turned out to be Elvis Presley's granddaughter.
There you go.
Riley, what's her name?
Sweet.
Yeah, I just didn't get that it was a different story. She torched a farmhouse at the beginning. I thought that was his. Turned out she was just some psycho fan and an arsonist at that.
Yeah.
The last 20 minutes was the actual story. The previous hour and like 15 minutes was just a music video. Plus, Mr. Weeknd is a horrible actor. I literally counted the minutes until it was over. Like every 2 minutes, I looked at my watch. I'm not kidding. I did. It was horrible. Such a horrible rage. Oh my God, it was so horrible.
Nice.
The only good thing about it is that people prone to epileptic seizures will never have to see it. At least I hope they don't.
Yeah, they better make sure they keep that disclaimer at the
Unless
beginning.
you're a major fan of The Weeknd, stay away from this film. God, did I ever hate it.
It was me.
No, it was not. It was horrible.
So hurry up tomorrow. It took some big swings.
It did.
It is unlike anything that I've ever seen before. I am not a fan of The Weeknd's music, so that's a little, little drawback when, half the movie is him in concert.
Yep.
It's shot well though when they're doing those scenes. Jenna Ortega and Barry Keoghan definitely bring this film up
to another level.
Quite a few
More
notches.
than it should, really, but yeah.
The last scene, not the last scene, but the kind of, when stuff finally starts to go down in the hotel room.
Yep.
Jenna Ortega, it was nice to see her play this type of character and show that, she's able to.
You
She
mean
had
Wednesday Addams?
some rage.
Yeah.
Range.
Yeah. And as I
And
say,
rage, actually, in the movie.
and despite Barry Keoghan not having very much to do, he's still Barry Keoghan.
He Keegan'd it up.
He always Keegans it up. I can't get past the fact that the Weeknd is just not a good actor. Now, having said that, it's a little unfair of me to say this. I mean, he's never. I guess he's done some acting.
He did a TV series.
He did a TV series. He was. I think he's been in a few things. But I think I don't know if he's gone to like an acting coach or whatever, but he needs to.
If he's going to stay in acting.
Because this kind of just pouty face thing that he was doing in this was kind of annoying after a while. There were some scenes where I just didn't feel anything. And but there were also some scenes where, as you pointed out, there were some scenes where he wasn't terrible, but unfortunately this movie was on his back, and that was a problem. It was a bit of a, like, I'm not sure what he was trying to say with this. I didn't did he want me to sympathize with him? I didn't. I couldn't.
Not. No, I don't think so.
But did he also want to show that he's like a total ass? Like,
yeah.
I'm not sure what he was going for here. The fact that I guess I respect the fact that he's presenting himself in such a negative light.
Yes,
I can't not. And if he actually sees himself in that way and can accept that that's who he either was. Does he want to be better? I don't know. I would hope that after making this film and presenting himself in that way that he does. Was this a more, as I say, him turned up?
Self-discovery?
Yeah. Like, was this an embellished version of himself? It's all been, and that's the thing, is that as I'm watching it, I'm thinking all these things. And that's not a bad thing that it had me thinking while I was watching it, because it distracted me from some of his acting. And then as we got to the end, some really cool visuals with some fire, and the way that it ended is a bit of a mind F.
It is. I liked it.
And that was cool. So there was like a lot of stuff that they were swinging for the fences, as I said before. And you know what? I respect that. And even though a lot of this movie I hated, there was some stuff in this that I didn't hate at all. I kind of liked, I kind of dug. And when you weighed it all out, I can't rage on it because there was so much like good stuff in it. And even stuff that, while I didn't think was good, I respected that they tried it. It didn't really land for me, but keep on doing it. Like, this was almost experimental cinema. And I don't say, like, to anybody that hated this movie, I get it. I get why you hated this movie. But there was enough here for me that I'm not unhappy that I watched it.
Yeah.
I am completely.
And it's a meh, because there was some stuff in it that I'm like, cool.
Yeah,
So-
I thought her
total
character,
meh.
Jenna Ortega's character,
Yes.
for me was just such a powerful character to me. But like,
It was just about a lot of messed up people, and they come together at maybe the wrong time. And yeah, like when Barry Keoghan's character, that's just a narcissistic little wiener, is like your most down to earth character in the movie.
Him I liked.
yeah, you can't help
just,
it like
it's just,
him.
Again, it's just like Jim said, it was just too random.
There's
Like he's got his heart broken by this girl that he basically treated like shit anyway.
Yes,
Then he just
and that's
meets
the whole
this
thing.
new girl, and okay, I'm over her now.
But that's the thing. And then after the way that he deals with her, you can understand maybe what happened
With his last
girlfriend. And it all kind of makes sense. And even the fact that at one point he tells this one, that he never wants her to leave. And so that it's like the cycle's going on again. And I think it's about that cycle that goes on with him. There's like a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah.
I'm almost talking myself into liking it more than I actually did as I talk about it. But it was meh. There was some stuff in here that I'm going to say I hated. Absolutely hated. But there was some good stuff in here. And as you say, there's some camera movements in here that's like, dude, just settle down. But you know what? It wasn't terrible.
See, and I think the story, I actually liked the story. You said there wasn't a story.
I liked the last 20 minutes of the story.
There was actually a build-up.
Yeah, there was.
It was slow.
It was him and his music video. That's all it was.
There's a little revealed.
No.
Yep.
And at the end of this,
It's because of Jenna's character. You don't fully understand her.
Yeah, you never even know her.
You don't know. Yeah, but that's.
I wanted more backstory on her.
I
didn't give a shit about him. I wanted more about her.
We got enough about her.
No,
we got enough.
Not even close.
Yeah. Totally.
Her being a mystery
They
is a
had
good
cut
thing.
like 45 minutes of him singing into his music and put more story into the characters. I may have not hated it.
I loved when she was sitting there explaining his lyrics to
Yes!
him. That was freaking brilliant.
That was an awesome scene.
Anyway, to each their own. No,
All
I
right.
freaking hated it.
Well, you know what? It's okay. That's that we're gonna hear some info about.
I
some
wasn't
things.
alone, trust me.
Yeah,
I read a lot of reviews.
I don't care other reviews. I care about.
doesn't matter what the reviews are.
What is it? It's like we only care about ourselves.
Yeah.
as
I
long
know,
as we
I
finish
know.
first, who cares?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with anybody else's opinion.
There's been a lot of movies that we've liked that others
Yeah.
haven't.
It's like whatever.
Speaking of hate, might be,
All
might
right.
be a good time for Bryce to take a break and go to the
Yeah.
bathroom. He's not going to like what I'm about to say.
You always
And-
say that.
And I'm going to take
Oh, you aren't
I'm
gonna
going
like
to
what he's
take
gonna
a
say.
little bit more than a minute.
All right.
Just a little.
We
Okay.
got lots of time today.
Coming up for the American Long Weekend is probably the biggest movie of the year.
Lilo and Stitch?
Yes.
Regardless of how many barbecues or trips out on
Lilo
the
and
water
Stitch?
people take.
Why do you think Lilo and Stitch is the
Hey,
biggest
this
movie?
is my time. Shut the hell up.
Okay, I want to hear why Lilo and Stitch is the biggest movie.
Regardless
It's
of
Disney.
whatever they're doing on the long weekend, it will still be about
Lilo
my
and Stitch.
Mission Impossible.
Yes.
Oh, is that
Dead
out too?
Reckoning. That's mine.
Yes.
Am I?
Well, how does that outdo Lilo and Stitch?
Well,
trust me,
it's going to be a race to the
nobody
finish
wants
line.
to see that crappy live action, whatever it is.
I know, Mission Impossible.
No.
No one wants to see that. It's terrible.
Anyway, Mission Impossible. I know two of us
Yes.
are really looking forward to seeing this
I cannot wait.
in IMAX,
IMAX.
glory.
IMAX X.
Whether you like the franchise or not, Bryce, you can't deny the stunts and action sequences are off the charts insane.
I can.
In a time where the Oscars are finally recognizing
'Cause I
the
fall asleep
unknown
during them.
stuntman. See, he's still talking.
I know.
This is why my minute goes to 20 minutes because he
Yes.
won't shut up.
It is true. He doesn't shut up.
Like I said, go
Oh,
to the
you-
bathroom or something.
You knew this was coming
did.
as soon as you picked this
Yes,
topic.
I know. I was hoping you would get up and leave. Anyway, in a time where the Oscars are finally creating a category for the stuntman, which they hadn't previously, nobody has done more for that community than Mr. Tom Cruise. So I'm going to look at some of the amazing stunts of the franchise. The terrific Tom risked his life for our entertainment. FYI, it's not a short list. Starting with the first Mission Impossible.
Ugh.
The helicopter train jump. Long before he seemed to have a death wish, the stunts in the original seemed tame in comparison. After fighting with the bad guy on top of a bullet train, he jumped onto a helicopter that soon explodes, then he jumps back onto the train. He completed the jump 4 times, ended up bleeding, bruised, and cut. However, that was a sign of more to come.
Yep.
And then the first movie, the cable drop from Mission Impossible.
Oh, yeah.
When he is lowered into the room to avoid triggering alarms.
I don't even remember any of these.
How do you
things.
not remember that?
Because he doesn't like them. At one point, his wire lifeline is also let go, causing him to plummet to the ground and stop just inches from the floor.
Oh, I wish he just would have splattered.
During the filming, he actually repeatedly overbalanced and thwacked his head on the floor.
Oh, good.
Repeatedly.
Nice.
Brian De Palma was
Never.
about to call it quits when Cruise filled his shoes with pound coins for counterbalance.
Nice.
And they got the shot.
Tom's so smart.
Yeah. All right, Mission Impossible 2.
Nice.
Busy.
The
Yeah.
very start, the free climbing cliffhanger
Yes!
at the start of the movie.
Yes.
I don't remember any of this.
He's enjoying his time off between missions by scaling a rocky cliff
Yes.
in Utah without a harness.
Just like Rocky Balboa.
That's right.
In
He did wear a safety rope, but it was
Cliffhanger?
still dangerous. It was so scary the director John Woo had to look away. There was one scene where a stuntman performs that near slip, otherwise it's Tom up there the whole time. 600 feet up.
Who cares?
I care.
Then we have the eye-watering knife fight in the same movie.
Don't know what that is.
Well, basically, the bad guy is about to stab him in the eye with the knife.
I hope he did.
And
I'm glad it didn't.
John Woo actually wanted the bad guy, the character, to push down with all of his force onto Cruise's eye.
Cruise's eye?
During
Yes!
the stunt, the blade gets as
Do
close
it!
as a quarter-inch away from his eye. He was only protected by the steel cable attached to an overhead rig.
That's that's huge.
Okay,
Quarter inch.
now we got
Should've been
3.
a quarter
which
inch into his eye.
I never saw the third film.
What?
At the time, I really didn't like Philip Seymour Hoffman. I changed my mind eventually. Whatever reason, I
Saw the
skipped
light.
it. Maybe because 2 wasn't that great.
What?
Third film
It was as
actually
good
had
as the second one.
third one actually had multiple production delays with several directors and cast members
Yeah, because it was crap.
eventually quitting.
Nobody wanted to be a part
Finally,
of this.
J.J. Abrams
garbage.
took over.
Nice.
The big stunt in this film was Ethan's convoy being attacked on the bridge, and a missile was sent hurtling
Doesn't
towards
that happen
him.
in every movie?
He
No.
escapes just in
I
time, but
wish.
the shock wave from the explosion sends him crashing into a nearby car.
Did he die?
The stunt was captured in one continuous shot,
Wish he would have
with
died.
the cable yanking him into the car. It was later. The explosion was later added in post, but he survived the stunt and got up smiling.
Yes, he did.
And we got
Yeah.
Ghost,
True
I love,
superhero
love
that
that
he is.
toothy grin of Tom Cruise.
Ghost
Love it.
Protocol.
Garbage.
There were so many insane
Mondo.
stunts in this movie, but the final fight, with the rotating car park with vehicles crashing down all around him. The wildest one was Cruise climbing the side of the Burj Khalifa,
Yeah.
the tallest building in the world. Hunt had to climb
Yes.
11 floors of a 2,722-foot skyscraper to get to the 130th floor. Only adhesive gloves, which they also fails. He did have a harness, which was removed in the editing. He actually performed this climb almost a half a mile in the air, including the part where he plummeted when the glove failed. To add to the danger, his harness was at risk of cutting off his circulation, and it was hard to breathe at that height. Once again, he pulled it off.
Of course he did.
And
He's
we
a
got
true superstar.
Rogue Nation, actually one of my favorites. The opening scene, the Airbus. He's trying to stop a plane full of chemical weapons. He jumps onto the outside of the plane as
Yes.
it's taking off, and his teammate Benji fails to open the door. So he's hanging onto this plane as it's flying in the air, thousands of feet. Now, he was bolted to the plane via harness, but the plane was traveling at 260 miles an hour.
Yeah, I know.
And birds and debris became biggest danger. He was actually injured by a pebble at high speed. He was also wearing earplugs and contact lenses. He couldn't see or hear anything.
I would just stop listening.
That's right. Go to the bathroom. I don't care.
I'm excited. I'm
And we
remembering
got
every single one
Rogue
of these
Nation
stunts.
again. The bike chase scene in Casablanca.
Oh dear
When
lord.
he's chasing after her. All the stunts in this movie, this isn't even the top of the list. He races after Ilsa Faust, my favorite character. First by car, then with a BMW motorcycle. Though she escapes, the exciting pursuit around the Casablanca highway puts Cruise's life in danger. He actually started riding motorcycles at the age of 10, which is why he likes using them in his stunts. At one point, he drives up over 130 miles an hour and leans over, sometimes just inches from the ground, without a helmet.
Uh-huh.
And then finally in Rogue Nation, the underwater heist. I told you it was a short list. I warned you.
Yeah,
You can get up
did.
if you choose. As I said, it had so many great stunts in this movie. Hunt and his team have to swap a file in an underwater database. Eventually, she has to go and save him because he runs out of air. Both Cruise and Ferguson risk their lives holding their breaths while exerting themselves. It was filmed in a succession of continuous shots. They had to train to hold their breath for over 6 minutes,
Holy
which
shit.
they did. At the end of the 10-day shooting schedule, he was spent. He had nitrogen in his blood and brain fog so bad, couldn't remember his lines.
And it never recovered.
That this stunt wasn't
Yes,
dangerous
he
enough,
did.
he also had to jump off of a 120-foot ledge into the water.
Why couldn't he just not
'Cause he's Tom
survive
Cruise.
any
He's
of
Tom
these?
Cruise. He's a superhero.
All right, Mission Impossible Fallout.
Is this
Second
the
last one.
Oh, thank God.
Second last movie. This one has multiple.
of
As
course
as
it
the
does.
franchising continues, the stunts get more insane. In Fallout, the motorcycle chase is even crazier.
Is it?
Street chase through Paris.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Cruise
It
and his
wasn't that
fellow
long
There you
ago.
go.
It
biker
was
stunt
terrible.
performers, they
It's
rode
awesome.
without their safety rigs.
Yeah.
Did the whole
cares?
chase by free riding.
Woo.
All the turns weaving in and out of oncoming traffic, going well above the speed limit.
Oh wow.
Done by Cruise.
Yes.
They ripped through the streets at over 100 miles an hour, with
Whoopee.
cars and bikes pursuing him head on. And to add to that, between the slippery wet cobblestones and the cameras trying to get close-ups just inches away from his head,
Uh-huh.
it's amazing he escaped from shooting this scene without a scratch.
I'm amazed.
Then there's one
I am.
which, yes, Bryce, he did get hurt on.
Oh, good.
The roof jump.
But not
in
fatally.
Fallout. Not fatally. After doing so many death-defying stunts, Cruise was eventually going to get hurt. It finally happened in Fallout.
I hate
Wasn't
Tom
even
Cruise.
a dangerous
I love
stunt.
Tom
It was just
Cruise.
bad luck. He broke his ankle while filming a straightforward stunt in London. As he leaps from one building to the other, he misjudged it horribly, slammed into the building's side, and bends his foot in ways it wasn't meant to go. After that happened, he was unable to continue filming, halted production for 7 weeks. It cost the studio $80 million because
Yikes!
he hurt his ankle. Then we have the Halo jump in Mission Impossible Fallout.
know what
Him and
that
Henry
is.
Cavill.
What's a Halo jump?
Halo is high altitude, low open jump,
Wonderful.
which is very dangerous. He shows off his expert skydiving. He
Sounds
falls from
easy.
25,000 feet. He jumps out of a plane at 25,000 feet.
Anybody can jump out of a
Cruise
plane,
and
Murray.
Cavill's stunt double, because apparently Henry Cavill wasn't going to do that.
Woohoo! Jumped
Yeah.
out of a plane.
And a videographer. They jumped 106 times
What?
and shot the sequence in 3 minutes.
I can jump
One per
106
day.
times, Murray.
He did it once a day for 106 days.
I can totally do it.
Sure. Let's try it out.
He can
Ooh,
barely,
jump.
Bryce can barely step outside.
And then there's, of
without
course, the
twisting his
final
ankle.
scene in Fallout, the helicopter chase. He's tracking down a bad guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
and
that was
helicopter
so
chase
good.
ends up on a rope hanging from the moving helicopter. He crawls up the rope to fly the helicopter.
My mom could
He
do
keeps
that
chasing
stunt.
him. And then, he got as close as a few feet away from the other helicopter's rotor blades at one point.
I don't doubt your mom could do that stunt. Sure.
Totally.
Your mom's the best.
Okay, Bryce, here's the last one.
Thank God.
The motorcycle jump in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning
Yes!
Part 1.
Oh,
Oh,
the most
so good.
overplayed stunt in the
Finally,
history
the
of
latest
frickin'
insane
stunts.
Mission Impossible. It did actually had a crazy train derailment sequence that seemed impossible to top.
Yep.
Then Cruise drives a motorcycle off a cliff.
Yes.
I could totally drive a
Shot
motorcycle.
in Norway.
How is that hard?
He
Any
drives-
idiot can drive a
He rides
motorcycle
his
off
motorcycle
a cliff.
off a 4,000-foot cliff.
Whoopee.
Not like Tom
Propels
Cruise can.
into a nosedive and then deploys a parachute.
Easy.
He performed
Sign me up.
13,000 training jumps for the sequence.
Shit.
I don't need
Sure he
any.
could do it. Besides
Drive it
showcasing-
off, pull the ripcord. Done.
Have you ever seen him walk?
Yeah, no kidding.
He barely can walk to
He
his
hurts himself around the house.
I am a super athlete. I don't know what you're talking
Anyway,
about.
besides showcasing,
My knees actually feel a lot better
Yeah,
lately.
well, then you can jump out of a plane next.
Look at it.
Because
Sorry, 106 times.
106
Easily.
times. Besides showcasing the beauty of Norway, the stunt was epic.
Was it?
All
was
this is
epic.
building up to the final installment. I can't wait
which
to see
I
what Ethan
cannot
Hunt tries
wait.
in this one.
Who cares?
Yes, Bryce, I'm done.
Thank God.
Nice.
But everybody else, I'm sure, enjoyed it.
Yes. I'm going to go back and...
Watch them all.
I'm gonna watch.
Well, yeah, I'm
none
going to
of
try and
them.
watch all of them before
I gotta
next
find
weekend.
them. I think they're all on Paramount, unfortunately. I don't have Paramount.
Oh,
Sign up for a month.
Temperature rising.
or don't.
Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
My rage is Murray's minute.
It's not your turn either.
He just keeps taking everybody's turn this week.
That's Bryce.
All right. My rage this week, it's actually not super ragey because I didn't actually rage about anything, actually. Except what I want to rage about is that I have been under the belief,
Yes.
and for the most part it is true,
Okay.
that there's never been a sequel better than the original, or a remake better than the original. There's ones that are good, but they usually don't act up to the actual level that the original is. So my rage this week is a little bit about myself, but also I'm going to throw in the trailer for Final Destination Bloodlines, because I was pissed that they showed the scene. I wish they wouldn't have given any spoilers from the trailer. I know it's hard to do because there's so many things that they do that they're giving you red herrings.
Well, they almost
as you're
show you a
doing it.
whole scene in one of the trailers.
They do.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
Can't live
But they shouldn't have showed
if
the end, is
living
what
is
you're saying.
without
Yeah, they shouldn't have-
They want to set it up and then just cut it off.
Yeah, exactly. They
Not
wanted
show
to.
who actually
They should have
dies.
just showed all. Yeah, but it's like when you go there, you're like, okay, we know he's gonna die.
What they should have done is just shown a penny spinning.
Yes, that,
Final Destination
for the-
Bloodlines.
That's right. What is your fate?
That kid throwing the penny off the tower and just
No.
following
No,
it all
no,
the way down.
just
Just
spinning
a
penny.
spinning penny.
Just
That-
like
that penny
like
was its own
Inception.
just like
character.
Inception.
Like Inception.
It's spinning top. So my rage is basically about myself because I had this hatred of this franchise, which I really do hate this franchise, and that I was really not looking forward to this, and then this one just became the best Final Destination that's ever been made. So
Easily.
it's kind of now making me rethink my whole philosophy on life. So I'm kind of hating myself a little bit.
Makes you doubt what's real.
Kind of makes me doubt what's real in
What
this
up's
world.
what's
now
up
have
is down. What's
might-
in is out.
I might have to go back and rewatch every
Left is right.
every sequel of every movie to go like
Never
maybe
made.
I've just
Happy,
didn't-
sad.
maybe I just wasn't really realizing it.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe Dawn of the Dead the remake is actually better than the original.
No, it's not.
Okay, good. Thank God.
It's still. It was. You know what?
Let's
It's
not
pretty
get
good.
crazy.
It's pretty good, and I
Yeah.
respect the fact that they tried something different with it too, instead of just
Yeah.
doing a paint by numbers remake. But
I mean, Dawn of the Dead the original is my favorite movie of all time, so it would have been really disappointing.
that would be.
I'm gonna have to watch them both this weekend.
Yeah.
In between my Tom Cruise
The Tom Cruise fest.
fest.
Oh God, it's Tom Cruise.
I watched him naked.
And segue to Bryce.
Should we talk the whole time over
We should
his-
talk over him the whole
his-
time.
The whole time.
I don't care.
I'm sure his rage is going to be fabulous, though.
I'm sure.
Nah,
It'd be me.
my rage is. I don't have much of a rage, honestly. Here's my rage this week. My rage is that I got 2 more sleeps until I get to watch Pee Wee as himself.
Yes, me too.
May 23rd.
Why is this taking so long?
I've been this actually I believe Kim actually was talking to my significant other. Kim was talking to me about this. I think it might have actually played at Sundance.
It did.
Yeah.
Played it
Yeah, it did. The whole thing did.
Yeah, so it's like a 2-part series from what I understand. Apparently it's amazing, and I cannot wait to see this. I've been waiting and I've been waiting. And it finally kind of got on my radar this week that it's actually coming out
this weekend.
So May 23rd, I got 2 more sleeps, and I don't know if I can. My rage is that I don't know that I'll make it. I'm giddy. I want to see this so badly.
I almost signed up for Crave on the weekend.
Yeah,
Just to watch it.
But then I went in, I searched the interweb,
yeah,
and I'm like, when is this coming out? And I'm like, I
Yes.
cannot wait either.
yes. So that's my rage. Is that it's not out now.
I wanted it out last month.
Yes, I wanted it out 3 months ago.
Yeah, that.
All right then.
There you go. Pee Wee is himself. Watch it this weekend.
Guys,
It'll be
yeah.
awesome.
Everywhere.
AKA
It's gonna be so good.
documentary.
It's guaranteed Mondo.
Yeah,
Sure.
double Mondo.
Rage.
It's 2 parts.
Subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Last time on Rage or Dare, Jim pulled the 1986 Rob Lowe film Youngblood. Wait, is it Rob Lowe or Rob Lowe? Rob Lowe, Rob Lowe, Rob Lowe, Rob Lowe, Rob Lowe. Anyway, this week our little ragelings can actually rage or dare. Yes, I'm still confused about all these new rules, as I'm sure you are. Come on, Bryce. Alright, let's check in with Jim and Rob Lowe and Rob Lowe's skate double and see if, in fact, Jim does hate all sports movies, or does hockey get a pass? You know, because of his Canadian fondness for ice and Tim Horton product placements.
First of all, how is this my fault?
It's always
It's always your fault.
The rule changes were not my fault.
But you agreed with it.
We totally. I think it was actually your idea.
It was.
It was a very good idea.
But he's
usually
blaming you
don't-
because you could have shut it down.
I guess so.
And ultimately, it's always your fault.
Yeah, that's fine.
Dummy.
I can carry. I can carry that weight on my shoulders.
That was my favorite part of the podcast.
I just wanna quote Red Fox. Dummy.
Dummy.
All right. Well, you guys are in for a surprise today.
I don't think I am.
A sports rom-com movie set in Hamilton, Ontario,
Canada.
where the goalie of the team is played by none other than my man, Keanu Reeves.
Keanu.
Didn't see that coming, did you, Bryce?
Well,
I knew he was in it.
He's also Canadian.
okay.
That wasn't enough to save this movie.
Oh, we'll see about that.
All right.
Oh, I mean, you know
about
my
the theme
rules
song?
about Keanu. He's in a film. It already starts with Mondo, and it's going to take a lot to get a Keanu movie set in Canada where he plays a goalie
hockey.
for me to change my rating.
Oh, this script is up to it.
But what I liked about it the most, other than Keanu, was the fact that it takes place in Canada, where they are playing junior level hockey. But half the team is over 30. And the tryout is one practice game where they are skating as fast as Timbit 3-year-old players who are supposed to be trying out for a junior A team. But the entire team are idiots, except for one American player, Rob Lowe.
USA! USA!
And just like Bill Durham, he fucks his landlady. For what reason? It doesn't matter. Because we got hockey. But also, the
Right.
players can't
Hockey.
shoot. And of course, there is a love interest with the coach's daughter. And then, of course, there's the entire Patrick Swayze factor where he is a mentor and BFF. I mean, this just had the hits coming and coming and coming.
Can't miss formula.
And I don't mean the hits were coming as into the boards. Because that never happened.
Oh.
But the hockey games they play are like watching Pee Wee Tier 7 team plays
Oh.
at half speed. Again, where you cannot believe how fantastic everyone is actually playing. But it all comes together in the locker room where we get tough talk and insight and all the heart your little stomach can handle. So, yes, I guess as far as sports movies, this had everything I expected. A whole lot of stick-to-itiveness, heavy on the stick, a lot of heart, and all around a whole lot of fun. I don't even know how you thought this was something I could rage over. I mean, it had Keanu
Uh-huh.
as a goalie in a hockey movie where there was Tim Hortons product placement. It writes itself. It was like Hockey Point Break or The Outsiders on the Red Line, or actually more like Ghost in Jockstraps. Oh, man, it was better than Game 7 of the Stanley Cup. Tim Hortons Boston Cream Mondo, this was.
No, it wasn't.
But you got nothing else?
What was very exciting is apparently that they only play one team
The whole season?
Thunder Bay. I mean, how great
Thunder
is
Bay.
this? We get to see the biggest rivals the entire movie. Plus, the stick fight at the end was the greatest moment in sports film history. It's like a loony buried at center ice at the Olympics. I can't believe that this was an hour and 50 minutes. It went by so cool.
I'm sure it did, Jim.
Keanu in Canada playing goalie?
Yeah, you already said
Keanu
that. Yeah, I
in
know.
Canada
Yeah,
playing a
it's
goalie.
like the 6th time you've said it.
So
Oh my God!
You're actually gonna Mondo this?
This was the worst movie I've ever
Oh, okay
seen
then.
in my life. This was
Yep.
so fucking painful. Every single scene in this is complete. I thought The Cutting Edge was bad. Wasn't that the name of that skating
Yeah,
one?
that was the
This is
figure
like
skating
cutting.
Figure skating.
This is
Toe pick.
This is like
I like
the hockey
Cutting Edge.
version of Cutting Edge.
Only-
It's
There's a hockey
so
player in that one too.
It's so painful. Rob Lowe
Lowe?
is horrible in this. Patrick Swayze is his regular self. which is horrible in everything he's in. And we just didn't get enough Keanu Reeves to even satiate my palate.
I have a juicy tidbit while Bryce plays with his dog. Keanu Reeves was actually a college goaltender.
Yeah.
He was the MVP, nicknamed The Wall,
Yes.
at De La Salle's College in Toronto.
And that makes Bloodsport so much better.
And Patrick Swayze.
Bloodsport? You mean Youngblood?
Whatever. Bloodsport actually was so much better.
Bloodsport was way better than this movie.
Patrick Swayze was actually trained as a figure skater. Never played hockey.
Yeah, who cares?
And Rob Lowe
Rablow.
had to be taught to ice skate.
Yeah, you could tell that.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's my contribution.
This
I
was
don't know.
this was literally the worst thing
I
you've
think
ever
I would have
gotten me to
enjoyed it
see.
because it's
Yeah.
from the 80s
As
and
I
it's
say,
cheesy.
I am so proud of the bag that I've put together this time. Like, I didn't half-ass it. I didn't just go and start looking at movies online. I did some serious soul searching and went through and found the worst of the worst in the history of cinema. And they are all in that bag, my friend.
Ugh, I can't wait. All right, we get a choice. We can do Merman's got a few things for us. Casey's got
Casey's got a bunch.
Casey and his huge bag. Oh, this
Casey,
bag is so
Casey has a huge bag.
And then we got a few things from our
Viewers, and listeners.
audience.
Should
we get rid of some of Casey's?
Yeah, okay. I don't really care. Let's go Casey.
All right.
Casey usually actually gives me some joy sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a thing. All right, here we go. Casey is going to. All right, get ready on
Hopefully it's a Final Destination movie.
Yeah, that would
Be awesome.
All right, we will be seeing.
Yes.
Oh, I like this movie. Day the Earth Stood Still from 2008.
I believe that's also a Keanu movie, isn't
It
it?
is a Keanu movie.
It's the remake.
Yeah, that didn't need to be made.
Oh, yes, it did. It had Keanu in
It
it.
has Keanu in it.
So it's 2008, the day the Earth stood still.
Yeah.
Got it.
Nice.
All right. That's not what I was hoping for.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you just don't get.
Sometimes you get what you get.
Yeah, that's right.
Fair
Try
enough.
sometimes. You just might find
You get what
you'll
you
get
need.
what you need,
That's right.
Oh,
which
gar-
is more Keanu.
I'll
More
guar- I'll
Keanu.
guarantee one thing.
What's that?
It's going to be better than Youngblood.
Okay, yeah, I can 100% guarantee that. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage family you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey from The Nerdy Photographer for the voice of Rager Darren, our God of Rage. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We always want to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible, terrible movies like I had to watch this week in Youngblood.
You're welcome.
Ugh, got blood in my stool now. But no matter what you do, please, 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 pretty please, 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 make us a rage. That's it for this week. Rage on!
Rage on.